In Wales, deep down an old mine, all is not well. Miners are becoming ill from a weird substance down the mine which causes them to turn green and then die. When the Doctor and Joe end up investigating with the unit team, they find something far more horrible down the mine than just green waste. Giant maggots fill the mines, with one touch to the skin being fatal. Can the Doctor, with the help of Professor Jones and the unit team, figure out why the maggots have grown to such a size? What's happening within the walls of a new global chemical oil plant complex next to the mine? And can the Doctor think of a way to stop the maggots before they evolve and spread their illness? Let's discuss The Green Death, which aired from the 19th of May to the 23rd of June 1973 and was written by Robert Solman with uncredited writing by Barry Letts. This story was also directed by Michael E. Bryant.
I'm Conrad.
I'm Ick.
And we are...
We are the Wise of Harmony. Right, let's get off with this story, The Green Death.
We?
Okay, so first thing I really want to touch on is that the reason I do really like this story is how it's still relevant today. So, today is with the shale gas and the coal.
Not exactly the same way.
It's
we
a
don't
tiny
exactly
bit
have the
different.
hippies. So,
Well, no, we really do though, because
kind of.
in my geography, this is my entire second paper. Got a C in it, great. But I know more than I got. My grade did not reflect how much I knew. It's up north, kind of Yorkshire way. It's been a while since I've looked at the booklet. I actually have it though. There's digging, and you drill down, you send down water, and it opens up these cracks in the ground and lets out the gas. It's great because it's cheap and easy to do. Problem is that there's lots of factors which we don't know. Lots of chemicals go into the ground which companies won't tell other people, the public. They're not open to the public because of copying issues. People might copy the solution because it's the most effective solution, and they don't want other people, getting more, gas out for cheaper. So it's still very much still relevant to this day because I was thinking, oh yeah, no. And then I also liked how all the characters in Doctor Who had an opinion. How Joe was all, oh no, it's bad, but then the Brigadier was like, no, it's great. Petrol cheaper. Oh yes.
But I will say about that is the fact
Brigadier
that
changes his mind, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, but that's partly the episode, because the episode in itself changes its mind. Because, initially it offers a balanced argument, offering both viewpoints.
Yeah.
As the episode goes on, it's oh, the computers are evil, and they're manipulating, and oh no, the main guy is evil, And
it is quite bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it creates a very imbalanced argument, which is I felt the first few episodes set up this whole debate, which is just thrown out oh no, they're all evil, no, all the corporates are evil. It's
and I did like how they didn't give the third Doctor an opinion. He just kind of brissed over it. No one ever asked him because they didn't want to make him kind of a topic of, oh well, he supports that. If he's very much null and no comment kind of thing, you can't hate him.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, I liked. I mean, the Green Death. That was good effect with the glowing grease skin. I mean, when the guy is holding that pipe thing, causing that thing right at the start, and his entire face is green. I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
it was quite a good effect. Yeah, I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a good strong start. Then the Doctor's fixing stuff, and you can see how the Doctor's and Joe's relationship has kind of developed over all the seasons beforehand. Is
I mean, at the beginning of the story, they're still quite close, and though of course Joe kind of talks about this whole thing. The Doctor's to focus on fixing, but that's just kind of the Doctor.
Yeah. But yeah, you see this kind of definite friendship parallel. Compare it to Terror of the Autons and Mind of Evil, where they're still a bit kind of not on their ground.
Just oh dear.
Yeah, but in this, she's nice. But one thing which is annoying, she's never been really pro green before this, from what I can remember. She's always kind of been do you ever, I don't think there's ever been. I mean, right or wrong, yeah, but it's kind of a random out of nowhere kind of
It is a bit. It is
a bit of I mean, if there'd been something before.
I'm much going to say about Joe's character in this story more than any others really is that they really, really play up her clumsiness
Yeah.
like, to extreme degrees. Like,
See, I forgot this story. So, like, when it first happened, I was like, oh, that's Joe.
yeah,
And it was, like, two more times it happened after that time. I was like, okay, no, that's a bit too clumsy now. Like, is she wearing roller skates or something? Like, whoa!
it is. So they really do overplay that.
I overplayed it. So then, they kind of, after a bit, the Brigadier and Joe go off to Wales, and the Doctor goes off to Metebelis Free.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
And, like, the
and a
world
bit weird.
itself, like, when we see it, it's, like, it's really kind of creative.
Creepy,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's creepy and scary, and it's dark, and like you never ever see the creatures really. You see like an old snake head or here
Or
and
like
there.
the wasn't it the legs of kind of a pterodactyl or something?
Yeah, it's so odd, and it's like I'm just a bit like, how would the Doctor not know it would be like that? Like,
I assume
why
he
to
probably
get there?
did,
So
didn't he?
no, because he looks so surprised and it's like running through his life, like, oh my god, my days, and one thing which really interests me is at the end when he steps in the TARDIS before he comes back to Earth, is there these spears being thrown at like the TARDIS? Like you can see these definite spears. I'm thinking, what creatures were behind those? It always made me like, I always feel like intrigued to what's throwing those. But I love it when the phone's ringing and he like comes back in time. It's like,
Oh yeah, it just makes.
and we see a nice shot of Bessie zooming. I love when Bessie goes really fast.
Oh yeah,
It's very cool. But yeah, so then it's kind of, so the stories gets going, so we meet all the people at the research lab, and see the thing which wasn't that they messed up on was they already showed who Professor Jones was. So when Joe was in the room with Professor Jones and he wasn't telling her who she was,
yeah.
when there was this big reveal that he was Professor Jones, it was only Joe who was like,
I'm not sure whether that was the
affected.
effect that they were going for.
I would have gone for the effect of like pretending it wasn't him and then it was, because they've done that so many times in Doctor Who before, and I think those are the more enjoyable.
But if that was the case, then maybe they should have made somebody else look like Professor Jones.
Yeah, true.
Possibly. I was saying the location which they went to, the fact they set it in Wales and had like everybody be Welsh was actually very different, being that like most stories of the year are set around Unit and around the kind of
I liked how they went far out, so like people of Wales felt part of
and they went the
Doctor
whole
Who.
way with it.
Yeah, and they actually went to Wales, except for the model shots. I'll get onto those later.
Well, yeah,
So then so stuff happens, all people going ill. So then they get in the lift, and then Joe goes down the lift with Bert.
Bert, yeah, that's it.
And then then the lift breaks, and that's cliffhanger 1. It was a decent cliffhanger. It was all right.
Yeah.
Though yes, it's cool that they went to Wales. A lot of the location is very bland and boring, like it was filmed in January. I'm going to check when it was filmed, because it is very just bland, I found.
Well, as somebody who's have been to Wales, it is a lot like that, even in the summer. Very cloudy.
Sorry, Welsh viewers.
Well, no, they probably admitted themselves. It's like very cloudy and just a lot of fields in a lot of cases. From all I've seen of it.
Okay, well then...
Especially, because this, of course, reflects Wales in the 70s, like the mines and stuff. It's all quite fitting.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I just found it very, but in the mine, this is where it annoys me. Some parts were lit brilliantly, while other parts were really underlit. So... like when Bert and Joe first lay eyes on the maggots, or just the slime, you see there's that green light when she realises, how can I still see you if you've got your light off? That was a really good moment. Turns around, there's this green lighting in her face. That's really good. But there's other times when it was her and the Doctor in the cave, and it was just too dark to see. Was it really bad set, so they were trying to hide it? I just found it a bit too...
Maybe.
Some parts were just really...
I didn't notice that as much, actually.
I was just saying which I noticed, and because the rest of the episode was dark here and there, it really stood out. Say if there'd been some brighter moments, then it would have been alright. So then episode 2 spent way too much on just trying to fix that lift.
Yeah. I'd say, just in general with this episode, it does take its time maybe a little bit too much.
Episode 2 is literally all
Because
about that lift.
If you think about what actually happens in the first two
Two episodes, not
it's-
much.
They
go to Wales.
The Doctor finds a crystal, and the lift breaks. That's
And
it.
then the Doctor tries to fix the lift.
Yeah,
That's it.
pretty much.
I mean, the cliffhanger showing the maggots is alright, especially when the tunnel collapses and then the maggots crawl out. That was a really good effect. I really liked it. I liked it when they used the big maggots, okay. One thing in this story which really you can see, not sure, because I'm watching it on a big 32-inch. Back on the smaller TVs, it might not have been as noticeable. But the green screen in this story is worse than others
Well-
beforehand.
I don't know, I say, like, compared to, say, Robot, which was later,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably about on the same level as
Yeah.
that. There were limitations to what they could do at
It
the
was just
time.
very, very like they used green screen when they didn't need to, like the lift. Like, couldn't they have just got like a roll thing and just like just turned it so that the picture went like that? Because every time they were in the lift, it was so obvious green screen. It was like, I don't know, maybe it was the lighting issue again. But also one thing I noticed was when the Brigadier and crew were outside and the maggot invasion, when they were watching the maggots, a few times it was green screen. Like, I'm wondering why. Because like you can really tell it's green screen because you can see the
Perhaps they
edge
left-
line around it.
Perhaps they left
I'm thinking bad
Wales
weather.
and-
I'm thinking bad weather caused them to not be able to film it.
Possibly, or perhaps they'd done all their filming, gone back home and realised, oh, we need another shot here. We'll just stick a
The thing is, there was quite a few bits though. It was really weird. It was like lines as well, not just shots, like lines and stuff. And I was thinking, oh dear, was it bad weather or something? I don't know. But yes. So it's all right. But episodes 1 and 2 very much slow down. Then we see the maggots. Then stuff kind of picks up a bit, but still not really. Then they flood the mine. They explode the mine.
Actually, I'll say, just in general, the Global Chemicals guy, well, I have, issues with the fact that it, as I said, it makes a kind of unbalanced debate, the fact that he's, like, possessed.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
The acting itself, he does feel like it was very well done and, like, convincing as kind of a villain. Like,
It was good. And I would have preferred if he was just a villain rather than Boss.
though, I would say, actually, I really kind of enjoyed Boss, though. I'd say he's actually possibly one of the stronger bits of the episode, in my opinion.
See, I
actually.
think he's a lot like Ultron in Age of Ultron.
But this is like 40 years before.
Yeah. It's just
I mean,
very.
it's not really fair to
I
compare
know.
that.
I know, I'm not comparing him. I'm just saying that's what he reminds me of. But it's just. I know, I kind of. It didn't make sense for the time, but it was made to have, like, because it's set in that time and it had an AI system where it could totally think and sing and had emotions.
Well,
It was
that's
very much-
kind of the weird thing about that. No, that was kind of the point. They invented this machine that could kind of think for itself, one of its kind, and especially in the era where there was no like security on like other computers and stuff. This is like
Yeah, I get, yeah, because its plan makes sense, but it goes from being about green and stuff to a computer invasion kind of thing and taking over the world.
by not caring about the world.
Yeah,
That's kind of the thing.
but it's a. I know.
I mean, I get what you mean in terms of like it kind of clashes with like what they were.
I
going
think
for
it could have been a
initially,
separate
but-
story with
Yeah,
Boss.
yeah.
Also, the twist that Boss was a computer was like, even the first time I didn't really like get that, like, oh wow, because he'd always been shown as like that computer, that line.
Lines.
If it had just been a screen and there'd been like just this image of a person like blacked out, and he could have gone, I am Boss, and he just like shows up the image, this is me, blah blah blah, I am not like physical. That would have been a much bigger twist if we'd actually seen this person and then this person didn't actually exist, it was just an image
Something
made
like
up by
that,
Boss.
something like that. Though I did enjoy like how like how
I
he
liked it
acted,
when-
like
yeah.
his dialogue and stuff.
It was funny
Just
dialogue.
like and they're about to do this important plan, he just starts singing and stuff.
It was just,
Stevens.
he was weird. I did find all the many corporate people kind of blended a bit. I mean,
Well, I was only
only their character traits was either, oh no, you can't do this, or yes, we can do this, kind of thing. Or they were being mind ridden, so then they were a yes, we can do this kind of thing.
Well, that I think that's kind of the effect they were going
Then why didn't they
for.
just do everybody at the start? Why didn't they just mine? It would have created less friction.
I guess more the creativity side of things, as kind of Boss mentions, I think.
I don't know, but I mean, it's kind of like trying to make your own kind of.
Also, the
weapon.
Doctor managed to throw out a smart boss with that one question. I thought that was kind of
Yes,
smart.
that was cool.
Smart, yeah.
Even I was thinking like, damn, it was annoying. If the first thing I say is true and the last thing I say is a lie, yeah, it's yes. Yeah, that's it. If the first thing I say is true and the last thing I say is a lie, what is it?
Yeah.
It's like there is an answer. But yeah, so they explode the mine anyway. Backtracking a bit.
They did.
Well, whilst they explode the mine, but then the maggots come up to the surface because they obviously like. Just
Actually, just going back a little bit.
go,
Yeah, there's a bit of a throw because yeah, with the mine well, first off, Bert dies.
yeah, that was sad.
Um,
That was well done, actually, making
That
it
was.
like how they were having dinner and it's the phone call. It like made it more homely. I like that, and what they did well in this one is Joe and Jones.
oh yeah.
What was
We
his
had to
name?
Go along.
What was his name? What's his first name? You always more heard him as Professor Clifford. Cliff. That's
Yeah.
it, Cliff. They did that really well.
They did, and also I noted that the Doctor like. You know, with Joe slowly being a part of it, but like when he came up with the crystal and stuff, and not really caring, you know.
Oh yeah,
It's
he goes,
kind
"Oh yeah, I got the crystal."
of, kind of
She's like,
slipping away, and
yeah, it was really, really well
that
done.
was
Like
done.
the
That was
leaving.
well done.
This-
But yeah, no. continue.
I was just saying it's been done better. Like this was better than some of the modern,
oh yeah,
modern
I'd say so.
rubbish. Like what was it in Nightmare in Silver where the Emperor just proposes to Clara? It's like, oh come on, you already had a few moments together. At least in this one, it was multiple days.
Yeah, it's true.
You know.
It's true.
But
But anyway, so back quite far actually from where we were. So basically, they start as the lift comes down. They leave the lift and they start wandering around and leaving like the small drawn map for the others to see.
Doctor,
and stuff. Which I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. The fact they just
Yeah.
left map. And you wander around these caves for a little while, and Bert gets infected with the
yeah, why does he touch the? Who goes? Oh look, slime! I'll touch
Actually,
it.
that happens twice because there's also the other guy, it's the Doctor that is wandering around with, and he's just like, and then the Doctor has to stop him from doing that. It's like,
Who sees like chemicals which are unidentified and touches them like openly?
green is my favourite colour.
Oh! See, if I was ever going to touch it, I'd be really, really like test it with a stick or something first, you know.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't really want to touch it,
No,
you know.
no.
So I just
Well, these are just the Welsh miners. They don't really
the
think.
Welsh, yeah.
Darn the Welsh.
God damn it, you're Welsh. God damn it, Bert. That was more Irish. How do they say it? Bert.
Welsh
Bert.
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 There's only one bird.
There's only one Bert. There's only one Bert. There's only one Bert. That was a nice scene though.
That
And we
was,
got some kissing.
So yeah, Joe wanders around, and then they finally see the maggots just lying around in this goop and stuff. And Doctor finds her, and the minecart, they escaped
Yeah.
that. Where
What
did
is
that
that?
come from?
Yeah.
Where did that come
I
from?
know. And then there's that really terrible green screen. And then a repeat clip. They actually copy and paste the clip of them doing it. Now, what I liked was how it was a good idea. So they descaled the set and just put real maggots so they're all moving about on the set. Same when they did high out ones looking at like the mud later on. The problem is when the Doctor and co either they green screened or the car. The toy car.
Oh yeah.
So we'll get to that bit later. So yeah, so they decide to, oh no, maggots are big, so we'll just flood the mine and kill them. Backfires. They all crawl to the surface and
Well, no, that was
come out.
intentional. That was Global Chemicals. They were the ones.
Yeah, they went to blow up.
Because
but
they
unit
spent
went
a
as
very
well.
long time with the Doctor and Joe trying to stop this. The Brigadier from exploding the mine,
Yes,
whatever way.
because
they
it was
can.
unit as well. Yeah, because they went to blow
Well,
up.
good, well, no, unit was blowing it up because they didn't really have a choice.
Oh, they were told to. Yeah. That's
they were
it.
told to, but
Cool thing was earlier actually when they had the Prime Minister in it. That was cool because it
Yeah.
just made Doctor Who feel bigger and more important.
Just all of a sudden, well, that was kind of a funny scene.
Yeah,
like,
when the Brigadier's
actually,
on the phone.
just the Brigadier and the what's the thing they were Stevens, sorry.
Yeah.
They're just talking, and like the dialogue between them is actually really quite great. Like about the Brigadier going about closing down the project and all that, and just slowly like building up with like. I thought that was a great scene, and like the fact he just brings up the phone and just calls out what was it, the Minister of
Like Defence, is it? Minister of something.
Minister of something. And then he just passed it to the Prime Minister, just like that.
It was just like, oh, hello.
I thought that was a really great scene. That
It was very good. So maggots come to the surface and all that.
it's ecology.
they
Actually, I've actually got it written down here. Minister of Ecology.
ecology. That's my phone. So basically, we'll just wait for this. Okay, I got it. So yes, when the Doctor and Joe are down the mine, they actually take back an egg as well, which I thought they were quite good designs. The eggs and the maggots are really good designs. They're very, very
Oh yeah. They look
design is all good here. So they have that, and then like this, so then there's that dinner scene, and then we find out Bert dies, and then this maggot's crawling to her. That was really good green screen there.
behind, yeah.
That was good green screen, how it was like going across the floor.
I mean, you can kind of see it was fake.
You can see, yeah, but like on a small TV. That was the best green screen that they did in the entire story, that crawling. And what I love is that final shot, as like it's just the camera, like the POV shot of the maggot, like just moving towards Joe. Because then you feel like you're the one attacking Joe, and then it's like cuts, and it's like, oh my god. Because you don't know how she's going to get out in that one, because the Doctor and Jones have gone off, and so on, and then a guy just walks in, like he puts his nose up against the window, really, like, oh, hello.
That was kind of odd. I mean, yeah, it did have the other, because they did. Stevens told the guy to follow them.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense.
Yeah.
And then maggot gets him, and then he dies. Or does he die? Or does he just?
That's the maggot, you mean? That's
the maggot gets him.
Yeah, the maggot gets him, and then the maggot disappears for a little while.
Yeah, the
and
maggot
then it comes
gets
back
off
a bit later.
Yeah, but dead. But anyway, yeah. So then we move on, and then they're trying to like, kill the maggots who were then bulletproof. I never thought I'd fire at a dratted caterpillar, but love that line. That is one of my favourite Brigadier lines. Brigadier's some of the best lines. Oh, also there's 10 rounds rapid.
Yeah,
Which is almost 5 rounds rapid, but I just doubled it this time, which I thought was quite good. Because it's two finales after that one, actually, because that happens in the Daemons, which is so good. But that later.
Mike Yates.
Mike Yates, yes. I like...
It was really nicely done. Like it was just like the reveal of him just wandering in there was really well done. Just like
it was
come
very
in,
good.
Mr. Yates, and just
It was really well done, and I also like Sergeant Benton. Those three.
yeah.
So Brigadier
Benton doesn't do so much in this story.
I know he doesn't do that much in this story, but I just enjoy him being there. He's
yeah.
always like, I always enjoyed his character.
Yeah.
And then Mike Yates. And Mike Yates, later on in another story, Invasion of the Dinosaur, there's a big twist that he is actually working with, spoilers, he is working with the actual bad guys. He is actually part of the bad guy group. And then that gets carried on into Planet of the Spiders and all that. That's kind of like his arc. But in this one, he's all of a sudden like trying to save the Earth and all that. And then he kind of changes 2 stories later to be trying to destroy the Earth and start green again. Maybe it's because of what's happened in this one. We're trying to like make the Earth more green again, because he's obviously on the green side against the drilling and the gas. That leads him on to go to the Invasion of the Dinosaurs storyline. So I think that's quite cool. I mean, it's just something I noticed. I was like, oh, cool. Really cool explosions. Helicopters, they're expensive in Doctor Who, so like all those explosions were pretty good. They were nice explosions. I love it when they just have. It's cool. I like explosions. I'm a man of simple taste. Explosions gets it automatically to a 5 out of 10. And it just needs to be okay.
Oh yeah, the Doctor's disguises.
The ending and the disguises, I think, are the 2 things which stand out most in this story. Like the milkman, he pulls off so well.
Oh yeah, he does.
And then when he's the cleaner, it's like get rid of him, and it's on the window. And then like Mike Yates is just like,
oh, sorry, I just have to cut my pupil.
Yeah, it's like he's just staring at the Doctor, and the other guy's like, "What?" And the Doctor's like quickly washing it away.
Yeah.
It was it was like do you like handbag or something?
Just
like
general,
I might
just-
splosh it.
Yeah.
I just enjoy that. That's what I was waiting for episodes like 1 to 4. I was waiting for that.
I'd say just in general, like John Pertwee's performance was a bit strong here.
It was very, and especially after this would have been kind of just as like Roger Delgado's death, I think, happened when they were filming. I gotta look. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think that he was leaving next season, basically, or like how strong he is. I mean, yeah, the action. I mean, he didn't do his own. Usually, he did his own action with the flips and stuff. But you can tell in episode 2 when he's broken to try and get those cutting materials that there's a double because you can clearly see the wig line. Like it was really obvious. Yeah, but it was actually it was one of the more interesting battle sequences because they actually changed the camera angle for once instead of one camera angle.
Bit of variety there.
Going back quickly, I loved it when he broke in that first time where they had the Professor Jones doing that parade kind of down the thing, and he got just that lift just to get him over.
Nobody spotted that.
Yeah, so I did enjoy that. But it's alright. Okay, so he died June 18, 1973. So, when this one was airing. So, okay, he didn't know yet. It was during this story was airing so they'd already filmed it. So he was alright and happy. I wonder if he can turn the time warrior if he's upset more. I don't know, we'll find out.